Today, I am angry. I am disgusted, sad, and disheartened. And I am afraid. The situation our country is in right now is absolutely concerning. I really wanted to stand up here today and talk about how others might be feeling. But first, I'll start with their behaviors. The others I'm referring to are people who completely ignore our true purpose of protest, which, to be clear, is COVID-19 mandate opposition. And these people, they call us racists and all sorts of other names. You know, I watched a video the other day of a woman. I'd estimate her age to be around 60. And she was standing in the road as a convoy went by, I believe somewhere in a Soyuz. And she yelled at a vehicle with a mother, father, and their children inside. She yelled at the father, "You fuck your kids." And I was at Ellison's last Sunday in Nelson, and I watched a man march back and forth right in front of us. And he screamed, not just at myself, but also my child and everyone else, "Fuck you," repeatedly, while carrying a sign that read, "Not your flag." And I am appalled at this behavior. I am appalled at how a person could act that way, while at the exact same time be pointing their finger and accusing this nationwide protest as being a hateful movement. I have sat and I have stewed and I have pondered. And the only explanation I can come up with is that the people who are acting that way are at their wits' end. Their mental state has been so horribly affected by the last 2 years, their actions are now completely contrary to their words. I have tried to imagine myself in their shoes, and I have come to assume their behaviors are driven by many things, but first and foremost, fear. Fear of the virus. Fear of becoming sick. Fear of transmitting the virus to our vulnerable. Fear of losing their job, or fear of clogging up the health system. Fear to breathe the air. And you know, fear makes people do really strange things. Maybe their behavior is driven by embarrassment or shame. That over the last 2 years, they have done everything our government has asked of us. They have worn their masks religiously, got vaccinated, got double vaccinated, and then got boosted. And after all that, they are still forced to isolate, restrict seating in their restaurants, and social distance from family and friends on holidays and celebrations. Maybe after all this, they are ashamed to admit they feel embarrassed for simply falling in line and doing as they were told. And if that is the case, please don't. None of us saw this coming on March 17th, 2020. Maybe like us, these people are angry. Angry that after being such good law-abiding citizens, the government has still not delivered on the promise to return back to normal. Maybe turning 2 weeks into 2 years has caused them to forget what normal looks and feels like. Whatever is driving this truly absurd behavior from our fellow humans, please hear me when I tell you to hold the line. When it comes to meeting these people with kindness, understanding, and patience, please allow these people the space to work through these very real and very big emotions they are having. Please be the change that we are fighting for and stop the narrative of the vaxxed against the unvaxxed. For the reality is, this is a fight of wrong versus right. I think many of us have asked the question, how did we even get here? The short version is, the government made us afraid to breathe the air. And as completely ridiculous as that sounds, it's the truth. As a mother of a previously vulnerable child, believe me when I tell you I was afraid to breathe the air in March 2020. I isolated with my children for 86 days straight. Friends delivered our groceries, and I'd spend hours washing them after. My partner went to work out of town to protect us, masked, gloved, and hand sanitizer ready on the draw, even though his occupation is outside on our highways. Yes, my friends, my family did as we were told, and in my heart, I believed we were safe and would stay safe if we continued to do as we were told. But then, in September 2021, when Bonnie Henry announced that she would in fact be implementing the QR code mandates, something happened inside of me. Something broke. It was my trust in our government's plan to get us through COVID. It wasn't just 2 weeks anymore. It was coming up on 2 years, and by September, I was really starting to see true suffering caused by the very plan that was supposed to be keeping us safe. I was seeing our already strained hospitals collapse even further because of mandates that resulted in staff shortages and worse care for our patients, not better. I was seeing the rise in substance abuse, spousal abuse, and child abuse. I was seeing suicide rates skyrocket. And most shocking of all, I was seeing reports of children taking their own lives. I am against the COVID-19 mandates because our elders are starving to death in care homes. And the ones who aren't are dying of loneliness. Our children, the most hopeful of us all, are giving up. Our country is more than just divided. We are broken. And for some reason, we are arguing amongst ourselves. I want you to know that my vulnerable child was not kept safe because of government mandates. She was kept safe by our community that rallied around us and showed us compassion, and they helped us protect her. They helped us. Because it does take a community to raise a child. COVID is not the only threat to our way of life, and we need to stop living like it is. And now, I would like the attention of Mayor Duff and anyone else who sits in our local government. Are you entertained yet? It has been 3 full weeks of arguing and division in your municipality. Where have you been? What have you done to work with your people to come to a solution? Families and friends are being ripped apart over this. What kind of person just sits back and watches as your own city tears itself apart from the inside out? Where is the accountability? Where is our leadership? Busy pretending there's nothing to see here? Well, I want to know if you have any integrity left in you at all. So this, right now, is your personal invitation to come and sit down with both sides of this. It's time we had a discussion.